first story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my estranged father that he and his wife can be grandparents to his other kids' future children? My parents divorced when I was 15 because my dad had been cheating on my mom with a coworker of hers. My younger brother was 13 and my sister was 12. I became estranged from him around that time. My siblings followed suit. My full siblings anyway. I have two half-siblings who are older than me and my other siblings. They were jerks to us because we were angry our dad hurt our mom, etc. And they made it clear if we didn't want our dad, they didn't want us. So ever since, I consider him my estranged father and not even my dad. I am now married and I have two little boys. I only see my father and his wife once every 3 years or so when there's a paternal family event of some kind. Last year, there was a milestone birthday for my grandpa, and throughout the day, people went to see him. When I was leaving, my father showed up and he saw that I had kids. After that, he tracked me down on social media and started saying how he and his wife would love to be grandparents, and how she was unable to have kids, so no buy grandkids and all that stuff. I replied once and told him that he could ask his other kids if she could be grandma to their future kids because they were not welcome in my life or the life of my kids. He responded several more times, but I just ignored him. He then decided to get my great aunt involved and say that my boys deserve to have more loving grandparents if their grandparents are willing, and that I made his wife cry when I wrote what I did, and I was insensitive. My reply was, she was insensitive to sleep with a married man with 3 children, but apparently that was no big deal. And it goes beyond that, to how she treated my mom at work while the affair was happening. She even got fired over it, because she was bullying another colleague of my mom's too. It's not the type of family I want around my kiddos. They'll be fine with a loving grandma from me and 2 loving grandpas from their dad. So tell me, am I the a-hole for what I said? Edited to add, 2 kids was meant to be 3. It was a typo, sorry. My father has 5 kids total. 3 with my mom, 2 with the woman before he married my mom. Now for the top comments. Your estranged father had a chance to stay in your life, and he blew it. He also could have tried to reconnect with you later, and didn't until he found out, years after the fact, that you had something he wanted. Your kids. Sucks to be him. Oh, and the woman who helped destroy your parents' marriage is sad now that she doesn't get to swoop in and play granny? Ha 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 ha, bug off. Not the a-hole. So much agree with this. He could have started with, I'm sorry, or I regret that we don't have a relationship. Nope. You owe me and my affair partner, /wife, /bully your children's time and attention. With the side order of your children better be enthusiastic at having these new strangers around. So you better facilitate a grandparent-grandchild dynamic. No way. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. After that, he tracked me down on social media and started saying how he and his wife would love to be grandparents, and how she was unable to have kids, so no buy grandkids and all that stuff. He only wants back in your life because his wife cannot have children of her own, and they want to scratch the grandparent itch. There is nothing in his request that shows any remorse for what he did, and what they put you through as a child. They're both selfish. You're absolutely right to keep your boys away from these toxic people, and I would block anyone who tries to convince you otherwise. Your estranged father and his wife made their bed when they embarked on their affair. Now they're going to have to lie in it. Yep, only wanted her when it was a benefit to him and his wife. Forget that noise. He's not worth Opie's time. Not the a-hole. You owe this man nothing, and his audacious demands to play family now don't require gentle response. You were right to put your foot down fast and hard. I doubt anything less would have gotten through his skull. He chose her. If he doesn't get grandkids through her, oh well, it's not your problem. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my stepson with his son's surgery after he told me I'll never be his grandfather? I got married to my wife when her son was 14 and his mom was single 4 years before meeting me. My stepson was respectful, but he made it clear that he already had a dad. I'm not his father and that I shouldn't try to act like it. I respected his wish. Had no problem with him treating me in a formal and respectful manner. I still handle his education, /daily needs, /medical bills, even if no one told me to. He was just a kid living under my roof, so I felt responsible for his well-being until he could be responsible for himself. I do need to say that I lost a son while serving the military. He was young and had his whole life ahead of him. We had a lot in common. He loved soccer, cars, country music. Loved Eric Church, Alan Jackson, and Crystal Gayle. I listened to those singers every day to get some comfort. Some people say I'm lucky my son's a hero and things like that. Some say that I must be devastated. Let me tell you, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't feel the way I felt when I received that devastating news the first time. It's all I can say. My stepson had a baby boy with his wife last year. He made it clear that this baby is not my grandson and I'm not his grandfather. I was only able to visit when my wife visited. No photos allowed, no mentioning of the baby. No gifts from me specifically. Nothing. I wasn't allowed to attend his first birthday, and the gift I sent was returned. I'm not going to lie. It hurt. It still hurts, but I absolutely respected his words. I knew there were lines that I cannot cross, and so I kept to myself. It's not easy, and although my son is not here, I enjoy looking at pictures and videos of when he was younger. Thinking I was lucky I had him in my life, especially after how my stepson treated me. I don't hate him for it. I'm just grateful for the times I had with my son. A few days ago, my stepson's baby was in the hospital. My wife visits alone. She came home and said that my stepson needs help for his son's surgery and wanted me to pay for it. I said I'm sorry, but no. She looked confused and asked if I was serious, and then called me selfish and said that I'm ignoring my grandson and acting like I don't care. I told her that is not my grandbaby, and she and my stepson have been acting like it for an entire year. Now they want me to pay? She guilted me by saying I was being cruel to not help family. She and my stepson kept arguing with me and got others involved to shame me for not helping. My stepson argued that I'm trying to hold my money over his head and had no right to do that. They didn't stop arguing with me, telling me I needed to pay. His aunt called me too, saying I needed to help my grandchild because I have the money. But I'm not obligated to, yet they call me cruel and selfish. Now for the top comments. Not at a-hole. Your stepson has made it clear from the start that you are not his dad, and you're not his son's grandfather. Expecting anything from you, especially money, isn't called for. If he wanted you to have any kind of relationship with his son, then you would be allowed to see him without your wife being there. Have photos with the baby. Be able to talk about the baby. But nope. None of that. So, I wouldn't want to help with this random child's surgery, as bad as it sounds. Yes, and I'm not doing this out of spite as it claims. He knows how it is. His mother knows they both had no problem treating me like that, and I don't talk about it because I didn't want to look pathetic. But everyone just wants to please my stepson and his wife now. I bet they're promising him that they'll pressure me enough to pay. Unfortunately, I don't think things will change. It's been like this for years. My wife says she respects her son's wishes and isn't trying to force him to do anything, but I didn't ask anything from anyone. Sir, I mean no disrespect at all, but why are you with this woman at all? Not only allowed this treatment as a piggy bank towards you, but encouraged it, and now demands it. You deserve better. Please don't stay in this family. They don't respect you. They don't care about you, just your wallet, and they certainly don't love you. Not the a-hole. Your stepson wants you to finance a child's surgery that he won't even let you be around. He's using you. I'd tell him to have the real grandfather shell out the money. Yes, this. It was made clear someone else is the child's grandfather. To the point, they sent his gift back after forbidding him from attending the child's birthday party. So the birthday gift wasn't acceptable, but Olopi's money is? They can sashay that BS back and over to his real grandfather and get the money from him. Not the a-hole. So basically, they want you to be dad/grandfather only when it's convenient for them. No. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my ex-husband's girlfriend to stay in her lane when it comes to my kids? 5 years ago, while I was in the waiting part of labor, you know, where the epidural kicks in but you're hours away from the main event, my then husband told me that he needed to get some food because he was starving and is hungry. In his hurry, he left his phone behind him, which every few seconds kept getting notifications. Me thinking it was his or my family checking up, I asked the midwife pass me the phone. He literally was updating his mistress on my labor. And how can I put this sweet talking her about how even though he was with me, she still had his full attention? Let's just say when he came back, it was showtime after me screaming the place down, and my midwife, amazing woman, kicked him out and my sister ended up coming in. Because there's a word count, I'll cut it short. I moved in with my parents with my 5 kids. We got divorced and they got together. I'm civil to my ex for my kids' sake, but I barely speak to her. She's my cousin, by the way. My kids, 15 female, 13 male, 13 male, 8 male, and 5 female, have recently become obsessed with Harry Potter. Since my 15-year-old made a TikTok and lots of people pointed out that my 4 oldest look like the Weasleys, my twins have the same personalities as Fred and George. So this brings me onto the situation. My youngest since then has been dressing up as a different character every week, like Harry, Draco, Snape, the dude from Twilight. You can see the pattern of it just being male characters. Personally, I don't care. If my kids are happy, I'm happy. Which brings me onto the situation today. While I was dropping them off, my ex's girlfriend asked to speak to me about my kids, especially my youngest. She basically told me it was weird that they weren't right in the head, so we're gonna do something about the situation at hand. I told her she slept with her cousin's husband, so her ideas on what people should do aren't something I want my kids are picking up, and that my kids are fine. She isn't their mom, nor will they ever see her as such, and that they hate her guts. Her doing, but that's another story. And finally, she should stay in her lane when it comes to my kids. Kids weren't there when it happened, and I left. A few hours later, X calls me screaming, saying I was a a-hole, and that his girlfriend has been crying all day about the mother thing, because she can't have kids, and that I need to apologize. So that's why I'm here. Not a-hole. She was way out of line for trying to tell you how to parent your kids. They can do what they want when they're at their dad's house. She should just talk to her boyfriend? So weird. No need to bring you into this. My oldest has recently started going to her dad's again, because his girlfriend started drama about my daughter being on TikTok. She literally talked him into demanding she delete the app, so maybe they wanted me to be the bad guy. What's your guys' legal custody arrangement? We both agreed on 50-50, but because of the bad relationship my kids have with the ex's girlfriend, and over the current situation with, you know what, it's more 80-20. You are definitely not an a-hole. They're not her kids. Wearing weird stuff is normal for young kids. Also, I feel for her that she can't have kids, but that doesn't give her the right to meddle with your kids, and she lost my sympathy the second she started an affair with your ex-husband. She sounds horrible. Wearing weird stuff is normal for young kids. You know what I do when my kid wears weird stuff? I take pictures and send them to family. They love it, especially when it's a mashup of 2 to 4 costumes that has some repurposed home item or a homemade craft. It's not just what kids do, it's super adorable. This lady is nuts. Edit. My oldest rang me to collect them. Apparently, my ex had hidden all their costumes. He has a garden like the Malfoy one, so they wanted to do TikToks. And his girlfriend held a family meeting about the Harry Potter obsession, and basically belittled my kids, especially my 5-year-old. The second youngest videoed her, which is now on Facebook. I had my sister come with me, and I told my ex I'll be going for full custody. I took my kids out to the car at that stage, but my sister just let loose. The last story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my dad's girlfriend's kids? Some background information. My 16 female parents got divorced 2 years ago, and about 6 months after, my dad started dating his girlfriend, Molly. My mom is a science and math tutor, and I work at the same place as a math and reading tutor. Molly is an elementary school teacher with 2 kids, Ben, 10 male, and Alex, 7 male. My parents have split custody, so I spend 1 week at my mom's and 1 week at my dad's. With the way I'm doing school right now, I have biology the week I am at my dad's and my other class the week I am at my mom's. Because Molly's a teacher, she really enjoys helping out with homework and tries to help me, even though she doesn't understand biology as well, because she teaches younger kids. I had a big project due this week, and I was struggling, so I called my mom for help yesterday. Molly did not like this, and demanded I hang up on the phone and ask her for help. She didn't understand the work, and left, so I ended up just texting my mom to figure it out. Because everyone is at home right now, I am babysitting Ben and Alex while we're all on school calls. So if Ben or Alex have a question during the day, they come to me because Molly's teaching and I tutor their grade. Molly doesn't like this and always tells them to wait until she's done teaching to ask her questions. But this isn't really a good option because she's teaching for 6+ hours a day and they can't wait that long. She still does any homework with them and gives them some activities she's done in her class for fun after she's done work. She came out of her office for lunch today and saw me helping Ben with some work and got mad and told me to not answer any questions they have. I didn't listen and continued to help them when they asked me. Now here is where I might be the a-hole. After dinner tonight, my dad said that Molly told him about what happened and I can't help Ben and Alex anymore because they're Molly's kids and what she says goes. I told him that if I'm not allowed to help them, I'm not going to watch them on their Zoom classes because they will just distract me with questions I'm not allowed to answer. My dad basically set him a nail for this, and it's not my job to parent Molly's kids. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. They set the rules. They can't get mad when you decide to comply with them in ways they didn't expect. Exactly. Opie gets told she can't do anything for the kids, so she decides not to do anything for the kids. Opie, you're setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Your dad's girlfriend decided to have 2 kids, and your dad accepted that when he started dating her and moved in together. It's on them to find a solution to their current problem, not you. If you want to watch the kids, and dad and girlfriend are fine with you handling homework when you are watching them, that's absolutely perfect. But they don't get to set arbitrary rules. Tell them it's either you watch them and help them as you are doing, or you don't watch them. This isn't a pick and mix shop. Not the a-hole. Molly seems to have a bad case of needing to be the smartest, most helpful person in the room, to the point of not being able to recognize or admit when that attitude's not actually helpful, and your dad's enabling her. If they won't ease off, see if you can talk them into considering family counseling, or worst case, talk to your mom about readjusting the visiting arrangement. Molly sounds like Peggy Hill. Maybe we just call this Peggy Hill syndrome from now on. Not the a-hole. Even your dad said so. It's not your job to parent the kids. So what's the issue here? That last sentence made it seem like your dad is agreeing with you. Sorry if it wasn't clear. Basically, my dad wants me to watch them, but just ignore their questions. I said I will either watch them and help, or not watch them at all. He basically said that me helping them with the questions was parenting them, and that I need to stop. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.